Aurora, the spectacular creation of nature. It is the display of lights in the sky, which are visible near the poles and mostly during the nights. In the northern hemisphere of the Earth, it is called Aurora borealis, while at the southern hemisphere, it is known as Aurora australis. There is a ring-like region around the poles, on both the hemispheres of the Earth, which are called auroral ring. The auroras are mostly visible in this region. Typically, the auroras look like series of colorful curtains hanging from the sky and slowly flapping with time. They can be green, blue or even red. From earlier days, man used to watch these lights and wonder about their sources. Later, it was found that these wonderful lights have their source in the sun. Charged particles, called plasma, is continuously being emitted from the sun. These are called solar wind. You may watch a video on the solar wind. The link is given in the description box. Sometimes, the sun releases large portions of its atmospheric plasma from its corona through a process called the coronal mass ejection. These solar winds, containing the plasma, carries with them the sun's magnetic field, and they are known as interplanetary magnetic field. This interplanetary magnetic field, or IMF, at the location of the Earth's day side, interacts with the geomagnetic fields. Sometimes, as a result of this interaction, the outer layers of the geomagnetic field snaps from the equatorial region and gets connected with the IMF. The magnetosphere opens it up as a result. As the solar wind passes across the Earth, the geomagnetic fields, which are connected to the IMF, are carried down towards the night side of the Earth. The upper part moves over the northern hemisphere, and the lower part moves over the southern hemisphere. At the night side, the geomagnetic fields, which were till now connected with the IMF, get stretched long away from the Earth. At certain distance, and under certain condition, the northern and the southern section again reconnect with their counterparts and relax back to their original shape. The maximum amount of plasma associated with these portions of the field flow down through these reconnected fields and enters the Earth's atmosphere through the poles. They collide with the neutral atoms of the atmosphere and creates the beautiful spectacle of typically auroras are light green in color. The green lights are formed when the plasma collide with the oxygen atoms. Blue color is generated when the colliding particles are nitrogen. The upper part of the auroras are sometimes red. Very high in the ionosphere, above 300 kilometers, oxygen is the most common atom, and collisions there can create a rare red aurora. September 1st, 1859, the most ferocious solar storm in recorded history engulfed a planet. It was the Carrington event, named after British scientist Richard Carrington, who witnessed the flare that started it. The storm rocked Earth's magnetic field, sparked auroras at even lower latitude countries. Auroras were seen even over Bombay, at 20° north latitude. Planets like Jupiter, which has its own magnetic field and its atmosphere, experience auroras. The aurora is dynamic on Jupiter, just as it is here on Earth. Saturn, Uranus and Neptune also sees auroras. Watching aurora is a lifetime experience. So, nowadays, people fly to the polar countries to watch aurora in real time. This is aurora tourism. However, actually it is more difficult than it may seem. Light pollution makes it nearly impossible to see the aurora unless it is really powerful. Therefore, one has to go somewhere dark. Countries like Iceland, northern Canada, Alaska, Scandinavia and northern Russia are the most popular destinations for aurora tourism with time. The geomagnetic field lines of the Earth is slowly moving and the poles are reversing. So, someday, these poles will be much away from the Earth's geographic North Poles. Then, one would be able to see the auroras at the mid-latitudes or even at the equatorial region. However, good or bad, it will happen after such a long time that we would not be present to experience it.
If you have enjoyed our video, please subscribe our channel, like the video and share it to your friends.